respect every individual who are part of the Ramakrishna movement and the followers of Swami Vivekananda. The impact of Swami Vivekananda in my life, that's the topic on which I am going to talk. Dear friends, it's a pleasure to share my experience that has gone into my mind and body and the thought process because I was introduced to Swami Vivekananda's thought process for our nation. I studied in Ramakrishna Mission Vidyalaya, Periyanakenpalayam, Coimbatore from 1972 to 1977. 6 years of my Gurukulam life, which had given me enormous transformation at that formative stage. I was born to a great parents, and they have given me all the wonderful values and ethics for life and business. During my school studies, those values and ethical practices have been enriched and reinforced because of the way in which we were all taught to look at life. It was not only the bookish knowledge, but the worldly knowledge, and they have prepared us to be better world citizens. Always we were trained to look at India as a great nation. I was fortunate to recite the talk of Swami Vivekananda, which was delivered in Chicago during my 8th standard. I have attired myself like Swami Vivekananda and given that speech by memorizing it. But that has gone into my mind very deeply, and I started looking at things in the same way like Swami Vivekananda was expecting all of us to look at. Whether it is looking at the fellow human beings around us, or the process of nation building or character building, I always believe that was a great opportunity and model for everyone to follow. Let me put a perspective to this by narrating some of my life experiences. See, after graduating from Annamalai University, I joined my business under the leadership of my father. There, the first and foremost thing that has been taught to us, and we believed and still we are following, is dignity of labor. We are a nation where even still 70-75% of the people do give their hard work, sweat and earn their life. In a nation like India, where agriculture, textile, construction are some of the major activities where the hard labor is the foundation for those businesses. Even today, 80-85% of our brothers and sisters do have an opportunity to earn between 15,000 to 20,000 per month as their wages or salary or whatever we call it. They lead a very contented but a fantastic life, even though it is very difficult to find better things with that kind of a remuneration. So what are we going to do about that? So in my opinion and in my mind, when we introduce technology, when we introduce the modern methods in every business, can we bring betterment to such people who are in the bottom of the pyramid? So with that as a basic principle, we are now giving our best effort to see that we are able to give a better life to many people who are connected with us. I always believe, like center of excellence, can we become a center of influence for these kind of thoughts? Meaning, I cannot go and immediately change the world, but can I make a change in the world in which I am there as a responsible person, like a leader? So we practice this dignity of labor in every walk of life We respect everybody as an equal. We give them utmost care. We take care of many of their requirements and see we bring always the smile in their face. Next I take, look at the West for technologies and scientific things. Meaning, yes, ancient India was having all the wonderful thoughts, all the wonderful ideas, but somehow, for various reasons, either the documented things were destroyed, or the rulers who were ruling us for more than hundreds of years has made us to temporarily forgot all those things. So now the time has come. Can we think that we are capable of making whatever is needed for the community and the nation, society and the world? When we have the self-confidence, which was very important communication and the advice given by Swami Vivekananda to everyone, you can live without food, you can live without certain comforts, but you cannot live without the self-confidence. Believe in yourself and make that belief to everybody who is around you, that they can also make the things that can be made by their hard work and their intelligent efforts. So that is another practice we always have in our organizations and in the society in which I am an influential factor. Many humble background youngsters with very humble qualifications, now they are all leading in our organization to a greater level, be it construction or software or agriculture or textile or in the field of giving good education to needy people. So these are all very important factors. Number one, the dignity of labor, then the self-confidence. The third one I take as sacrifice. When you want to become a great leader, or when you want to make a difference in the world in which you are part of it, go and do it. Whatever you feel is necessary things that has to be done by the system, you be the change agent in that community. Likewise, in Erode, we have Oliram Erode Foundation, where friends like us has thought that whatever change we want for our city or our community, why don't we go and make that change by ourselves? Be it clean water, be it affordable health care, or good health care for children, or environmental awareness and environmental care, so many things. If we all get into the system and give our part by giving our time, by giving some of our possible resources, then definitely the change will happen. So you can understand when you are visiting Erode that a lot of wonderful things are happening in Erode towards the betterment of the society, community, the city, infrastructure, many things. So the sacrifice means I can sacrifice my time. I can sacrifice some of my comforts. But without sacrifice, you cannot expect the changes. There are so many wonderful youngsters who are giving their best. There is a young team under the leadership of Mr. Naveen. They have the trust called Aksayam Trust. They don't want to see anybody on the street begging or looking for help from others. So they have taken an oath and they are working on that towards making the world a beggar-free world. So I asked that young boy, what was your inspiration? He told me, Anna, I read a lot of books on Swami Vivekananda. One day, one particular night, it has stuck to my mind. What am I doing? Can I not go and change this particular situation? So he ventured into the street. By himself he started. Now he has more than 300 volunteers working under him. which is making the big difference. Though I am expressing my experience, but this is also an experience I witnessed because of Swami Vivekananda's thoughts and ideas. Yes, aspire to be a very strong personality, or aspire to be very wealthy in life. But once you achieve that aspiration, share that wealth to everybody around you. This is again a strong practice which was practiced by my parents, and we as a family continue to practice it. Whatever we do, we always feel the wealth is with us only to take care of the society around us. Be it our own people who are contributing their time and effort to us, or the people around us who are living in the place where we are also living. So these are all some of the strong impacts. Even after 150 plus years, I feel he is alive among us. He always feel the character of the individual is very important when we all try to build a strong nation. Only by building the character with the mind of sacrifice and reinitiation, we can build excellent characters. With those individuals only we can build the nation. We are a vast nation with so much of different culture, language, food, habits, everything is there. But one single idea is India, our Bharat, is a great nation. When our former President, Prime Minister Vajpayee was in USA, when we was addressing the Indian people in USA, many people have asked him one question. What is the major challenge for India as per your view or your understanding? Mr. Vajpayee, being a great statesman, immediately he said, leadership is the only issue for India. Meaning, he said, in every area we see there is a lack of leadership. Lack of leadership means leadership without selfishness, leadership with sacrifice, leadership with a national vision and every individual's welfare. So such kind of leadership is missing. So how do we build this leadership? Only by building the leadership of qualities of individuals, we can build a strong leadership bench where in every walk of life, wherever you go, be it politics, be it social life, be it business areas, be it educational institution, be it large corporations, everywhere we need such leaders to lead the area in which they are responsible. Let us take at national level or state level or local level. Take Tamil Nadu for example. There is close to 12,500 village panchayats are there. So there are 12,500 village panchayat presidents are there. Similarly, there are 11 or 12 corporations are there. So many major town panchayats, all of them are there. If you put all together, it may be around 13,000 or something like that, or even 14,000. Assume if these 14,000 presidents and leaders decide to act with their conscience, with sacrifice, and with one single motto of building their community and the village or the local area in which they are the leaders, in all spheres of life, business, agriculture, trade, everywhere, who can stop the growth of Tamil Nadu? Similarly, when we have 247 member of this legislative assembly, each one of them, if they decide that I am elected to lead this state with clean government, if everyone decides like that, among our friends we used to say, Tamil Nadu, if it has 37 districts, the 37 district collectors and the 37 district superintendent of police are such responsible persons, and they have the power and the opportunity to make a lot of good things happen. So what I am saying, as I have gone through this process of understanding Swami Vivekananda and understand his philosophy of better nation, I feel like sharing my experience to everybody, the leadership role players, to understand their responsibility. One time we are going to live, why not we live that one time with great joy, happiness, at the same time with the right responsibility to be a change agent in the area in which we are living. So similarly, truthfulness or trustworthiness. We are a construction company. Our contracts are made mostly since British time. The contract arrangement has been made with no trust, meaning the agreement used to be one-sided. Many of the classes will always talk, if you fail, this is the penalty. If you fail, this is how you have to compensate. If you fail, you will be debarred or you will be sent out. But with such an environment, we as URC Construction is able to win the trust of so many wonderful customers who are with us for more than 27-30 years, like Ramco Cements. They are one of our most respected clients. They believe us, they trust us. Equally, we are more responsible than them and giving it back in such a way that they appreciate and enjoy the delivered facilities which we are giving. Similarly, at national level, we are working with so many wonderful organizations purely based on trust. In our 66 years of experience, never we have failed to deliver the promises. These are all, I am a proud Indian. I am a proud individual. My pride is based on my trustworthiness and truthfulness. Yes, there are challenges. But under challenges, you don't perish. You sustain yourself and deliver what you have promised. This I have learned by reading the wonderful articles, books and speeches of Swami Vivekananda. If you have not come across Swami Vivekananda, then you have missed something great in life. He is not a one religion person, he is a national hero, I can say. Everyone, every individual, if we are lucky, if we get the opportunity to experience him at an early stage of our life. So my dear friends, if you are part of an organization or if you are part of any educational institution, please introduce Swami Vivekananda to as many people as possible. If you read his book, you will always feel the goosebump in you. It will give you so much of adrenaline and energy in you to do something better to the people around you, to the society around you, or to our great nation. Again and again it comes to my mind, nation building is our important responsibility. Now, the situation is, the decade is India's decade. Everything is very conducive. The atmosphere is very conducive. The world is looking at Swami Vivekananda, as Swami Vivekananda said, the world is looking at India with more respect and trust. We have proved to the world that we are in no way inferior to anybody in the world, be it scientific researches or technology or wonderful delivery of greater infrastructure or anything. So let us believe in ourselves. Let us believe that our family and our parents are the great parents, and let us believe that we all can make India the great country what every wonderful souls like Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi, all of them have dreamt. So my dear friends, once again I am reiterating, experience Swami Vivekananda even at whatever stage you are in life, and understand the difference in your thought process. You will definitely look at India with more confidence and faith. That's how I experienced Swami Vivekananda. The book in Tamil, Yenadu Bharadam, Amara Bharadam. That is one wonderful book. How great a visionary Swami Vivekananda is when we look at the opportunities and possibilities of India. So I never go to sleep without reading a single page of Swami Vivekananda. Somehow, somewhere, at least through my mobile phone, I will do read some article about Swami Vivekananda. Wherever I go, wherever I talk, I always mention my experience of Swami Vivekananda, not just for my life. I am a tool or I am a kind of conduit. Like me, all of you has this great opportunity. Please understand Swami Vivekananda, because like our former President Abdul Kalam says, the family and nation. He has written a book with a co-author, Swamiji, and he has written a book, The Family and Nation. In his talk, in his book, he mentions, without happy families, we cannot build a happy nation. All our families should be happy family, and all of us together can build a great nation, a happy nation. Like the famous industrialist, a leader, J.R.D. Tata said, we don't want to become a rich nation, we want to become a happy nation. Though happiness is a state of mind, but that state of mind has to come within, by internalizing your thought process, by understanding yourself, who you are, and when you correct yourself or when you are orienting yourself towards the one unified nation with a purpose and a great goal in mind, we all can make a great India. I am here, I have committed myself, and I am working towards that only. And I always feel that inspiration and thought process has been instilled in me because of Swami Vivekananda. I adore him, I respect him, I salute him, and I always remember him like my breath. I remember Swami Vivekananda in every walk of my life. That's how I am. Who I am today is because of my parents, my teachers, and my school and my friends, and above all, the great gurus like Swami Vivekananda. So thank you, my friends. Thank you for this opportunity.